Imagine waking up one day and suddenly public parks are closed, government offices are locked, and millions of workers aren't getting paid. Sounds dramatic, right? Well, that's exactly what the US almost faced, a government shutdown. But why does this happen? And how did Washington narrowly avoid it this time? Let me break it down for you. So, what exactly is a government shutdown? It's when the US government literally runs out of money to keep certain services running. Non-essential services like national parks and museums close their doors, while essential services like military and healthcare keep operating. Now, why does this happen? It's all about the budget. Every year, the US Congress and the president have to agree on how to spend the government's money. If they don't reach a deal, the funding dries up and boom, shut down. This time, it was a political tug-of-war over a spending bill and something called the debt limit. More on that in a second. Here's what went down. After days of intense debate, President Biden signed a last-minute spending bill into law just in time to avoid the shutdown. Congress passed it with overwhelming support, but not without drama. The sticking point? Former President Trump and tech billionaire Elon Musk wanted Republicans to reject the bill and push for a debt limit increase. What is debt limit? Think of it as a credit card for the government. It's the maximum amount they can borrow to pay their bills. Raising it doesn't mean spending more. It just allows the government to cover expenses it's already committed to, like salaries and social security. So, what's in this bill? It funds the government till March 2025, allocates $100 billion for disaster relief, and even sets aside $10 billion for farmers. But there's a catch. It doesn't raise the debt limit, which will spark another political showdown next year. This is just the beginning of what's shaping up to be a heated legislative session when President Trump takes office in January. Confused by all this political drama? The US government shutdown might seem like an internal issue, but its ripple effects reach far beyond America's borders. And yes, that includes India. A US government shutdown isn't just an American problem. It creates uncertainty in global financial markets. Stock markets, including India's Sensex and Nifty, could experience sharp swings. A weaker US dollar might seem like good news for importers, but it's bad for exporters. And let's not forget trade delays. Indian companies exporting pharmaceuticals, textiles, and electronics to the US might face slowdowns. And then there's the debt angle. Uncertainty over the US managing its debt can push global interest rates higher. For India, this means international borrowing becomes more expensive for businesses and even the government. Indian IT giants like Infosys and TCS, which manage US government projects, could face delays in payments and project approvals. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a hit to one of India's biggest revenue generators. If a shutdown slows down the US economy, it could reduce demand for products exported by countries like India. Sectors like textiles and auto parts could feel the heat. It's like a domino effect. One small push and the chain keeps falling. Well, there's one silver lining. If the US economy slows, global oil prices might drop, which could lower India's import bills. But there's a flip side too. Delays in US contributions to organizations like the IMF could impact international aid programs, affecting developing countries. Visa processing could also slow down, affecting Indian students, professionals, and travelers heading to the US. Plus, ongoing trade or defense agreements could be delayed, stalling critical collaborations between India and the US. So you see, what happens in Washington doesn't stay in Washington. The possible shutdown of US impacts the entire world, and India is no exception. Will the US resolve its debt limit issue before March, or are we looking at a major shutdown? We will keep you informed on every twist and turn only on Republic Business.